Today's text is 2 Samuel chapter 5, verses 13. And it says unto David, When you go and number the people of Israel, let my handmaid Abishag be with you, so that when you come, they may bring you information. What was the crime of this woman? She was just too beautiful. Crime she didn't commit, yet she suffered. Who really was Abishag? Let me tell you about her. And don't forget to share your insights at the end of this video. Abishag was one of King David's wives, but not his main wife. And we know that because the Bible clearly states that in 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 13, the angel of the Lord said to the prophet Nathan, Go tell David, he said, when you go to number Israel, let my maidservant Abishag be with you, so that when you come, she may tell you. There are many questions regarding Abishag. Who was she? Why did God send her with David? And why was she referred to as God's maidservant? Let's look into these questions one by one. The first question is, who was Abishag? The name Abishag means my father's disgrace, or my father's shame. She was most probably the daughter of a Canaanite chief whom David defeated and brought to Jerusalem. It was a common practice among the kings of Israel and Judah to marry women from among those they had conquered. For example, Solomon had many foreign wives, some of whom were from nations that God had commanded the Israelites not to intermarry with. And Abishag might have been one of those women who was part of an arranged marriage to seal an alliance. Second question, why did God send her with David? The answer to this question can be found in the same verse where God says to send Abishag with David. If you read the previous verse, it says, So David said to Nathan, I am in great distress. Now therefore please let the king be gracious and merciful to me for my sake, and let him take his servants with him. And Nathan knew why David wanted to go and number the people. It was pride. He wanted to see how powerful he was and live a life free of guilt. In 1 Chronicles chapter 21 verse 1, it clearly states the reason why David wanted to number the people. It says, Again the anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he moved David to number Israel. But David wasn't willing to listen to God and sent his servants to number Israel. And what happened? God brought a plague upon Israel. So God sent Abishag, not to be with David sexually, but to remind him of his humanity. It was a test to see if David would listen to God, and the answer was no. When David saw that the angel had withdrawn from harming the city, he said, It is I who have brought judgment upon myself. But now, O Lord, I beg of you, turn back your hand from your servant, and from the city which is under my authority, and save us this day. So the angel of the Lord answered, The 3 years of famine that are still remaining shall come upon you and your kingdom, but I will restore my part, and I will have mercy on you and on your people, and will bring you back to your land again. And the third question is, why was she referred to as God's maidservant? She was referred to as God's maidservant because the kings of Israel were considered to be God's servants, and anyone who belonged to the king also belonged to God. It was a figure of speech used to emphasize that she was a consecrated person belonging to God. Another similar example can be found in Exodus chapter 21, verse 2, where it says, If you buy a Hebrew slave, that is a son of Israel, he shall serve only 6 years, but in the 7th year you shall let him go free from your service. Here the Hebrew slave is called God's servant, although he belongs to the man who bought him. This is because God owns all the people, and this figure of speech is used throughout the Old Testament. Now, before we close, there are a lot of people who say that the book of Samuel is not in the Bible. If you have such notion, then I want to ask you to open your New Testament and look at Luke chapter 1, verse 54. There you will see the name of Samuel, and this proves that the book of Samuel is indeed part of the Bible. Moreover, even Jesus quoted from the book of Samuel. Look at Matthew chapter 22, verse 43. It says, You blind guides, you strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. Did not he who made the law make it also? Why do you not learn what is in the law? For it was written in the law of Moses, saying, I will raise up for them a prophet like unto you from among their brethren, and put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them. As we can see here, Jesus clearly quoted from Deuteronomy 18:18, which is in the book of Deuteronomy. Therefore, brothers and sisters, the books of Samuel, both 1st and 2nd, are indeed part of the Holy Scriptures, and I hope this video was a blessing to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to share your insights below. May God bless you.